Hey guys, what's up? It's Michael here. So today's video is going to be a little bit of speculation, a little bit of excitement. I'm going to give you some info. It's mostly about the second generation of Pokemon and when people are saying it's going to come out and why. So I'm going to give you all the info. You decide, let me know what you think. Let's get started. Okay, so the way this all got started was when the 0.45.0 update came out, the coders over at the Silph Road, which if you don't know what that is, it's like Reddit's Pokemon Go group. They are everything Pokemon Go on Reddit. It's called the Silph Road. So every time an update comes out, they look through the code and just see what's new. They've done this before, like pretty much since the beginning. They've been doing it and saying this has been added to the code, and then usually like a few weeks later in the next update, whatever that thing was, will come out. Like that's how they knew the buddy system was going to come out early and things like that. So starting in the 0.45.0 update, they noticed 100 names of the second gen Pokemon, all the ones from Gold and Silver. All of the names are now in the code, which they've never been there before. Now, they don't have any movesets associated with them yet, so it's not like they're just ready to come out now, but it's a huge start just to see that their name is now in the code of the game. Also in the 0.45 update, they saw that Transform had been added to Ditto's name, which Ditto had been in the code for a while but didn't have a moveset. Transform was added in 0.45, and then we saw the very next update, 0.47, Ditto actually came into the game. So that's the way these things work. They start appearing in the code, then a little bit later, when they have their movesets, they pop up. So that's why it's huge that it's now all 100 names of the Gold and Silver Pokemon are also added to the code. So that was in the 0.45 update. Then in the 0.47 update, when Ditto came out, and the latest one, it says 3 new sponsors have been added to the code. There's a sponsors section, and in the past there were some other sponsors like McDonald's and stuff. So McDonald's was in the code and they did an event in Japan. So there's 3 new sponsors and they're listed as spatula, thermometer, and knife. So obviously because a spatula, a thermometer, and a knife are probably not sponsors, it seems like those are 3 names just for placeholders where they're going to put in the actual sponsors, and you'll find out why that's important in a minute. But the last exciting thing about 0.47 update was in the code for the first time ever since the game started, the words shiny and rare appeared. Don't know what they mean yet. They're not really associated with anything as far as I can tell, but shiny and rare are now in the code, and I think we can all guess at what that's going to mean. I think we all know, even though we don't know. I mean, what else could it mean? Why else would there be shiny and rare? Why? So all of these things are suggesting that something big is going to happen soon. They're starting to add things in the code we've never seen. The second gen Pokemon, names are in there, and that's exciting enough as it is. But then this happened. So one Reddit user who claims he's a Starbucks employee says he got this message from Starbucks. It's like a corporate update of what's coming up for the holidays, all their new promotions and stuff. So he wrote the following post along with posted this picture that I'm going to show you here. And his post said this: I work at Starbucks and this is one of the most recent updates we received from corporate. Now, it's hard to say whether or not this specifically refers to Generation 2, although what else could it mean? Whether or not Starbucks and Niantic are partnering up, or if this will even be pushed out on the date specified. Things don't always go to plan. However, it all makes sense to me, but this would be a huge update. Based on the description of the event, it would require Niantic to put a Pokestop at every Starbucks. Lastly, I realize this may seem strange, especially with the Pokeman, quotes, but it's a real email and I can send proof to the mods if required. Regardless, this isn't anything concrete and pretty vague, and no other information was given to us. As a huge fan of Pokemon and Pokemon Go, I couldn't not share the news with everyone. Fingers crossed that it's going to happen. Now, as he said there, and if you're anything like me, as soon as you saw the Pokeman down there at the bottom, then you probably thought it was fake. But then, the more I started thinking about it, the more that made it seem even more real, because who calls Pokemon Pokeman? Old people. Who is probably writing these updates at corporate at Starbucks? Probably old people. Like, I think, like, I've been playing Pokemon since I remember I bought Pokemon Blue, like, when it first came out. And it took my mom, like, 6 years of me talking to her for her to stop calling it Pokemon. She probably still thinks it's Pokemon half the time. So I could totally see someone at Starbucks going, oh, we got the Pokemon update coming out, gotta send the email, and they just have no idea because they just always hear it, Pokemon. Even if they read it, Pokemon, they'd probably be like, oh, somebody misspelled that, and it's supposed to be man, because that makes sense somehow. So, the more I think about it, that doesn't really bother me as much, the Pokemon thing. So, as we look on the picture he posted on Reddit, it says, marketing efforts to drive more customers into our stores. There's a Groupon for 11/11 to 11/25, and that was actually already happening at the time that this was posted. But it did happen, but he could have known that. But then, the Facebook, the $3 Grande Holiday Beverage, that one came out the day after he posted this picture. So, he would have had to have known before, which makes it look more legit to me. Even though it started one day after, it did start after. Like, he would have had to have known that. And I did look it up. The $3 Grande Holiday Beverage actually did happen because I looked it up on some coupon websites, and it was definitely there. We don't know. December 2nd through 4th, I guess we'll see if Verizon is doing a $50 e-gift. I don't see how this relates to Starbucks. A $50 e-gift, I guess it would be an e-gift to Starbucks with activation of a new Verizon account. So we'll have to wait and see if that happens. And then here it is, the Pokemon 12/7, December 7th, launch of Pokemon version 2. I don't know what version 2 could be. I don't know. I don't know what else could be if not second generation. Starbucks stores will be part of coming to the store. Pokemon Frappuccino recipe to be communicated. Lures will be dropped at all Starbucks stores and will be Starbucks stores that will provide even more direct something January/February. So, this guy allegedly gets an email from Starbucks saying it's coming out December 7th. And then, like a month before that, they add all of the second generation Pokemon to the code. Seems good to me. Now, I think even if they're planning this, it's probably not going to be put out on the time that they're thinking because these things seem to always get behind. But it would make sense. I know people are getting tired of the game with the same Pokemon because even people who play completely legit, which I don't at all, they've caught probably all of them by now. And they're like, what do we do now? What else can we possibly do? So I think this would be a great time to add some new Pokemon. Of course, get some holiday people. They want people to get gift cards for the holidays. They want to say, Mom, I gotta get these new things from Pokemon. But there's nothing really to add right now. There's nothing you would really spend money on. So they're gonna need people spending money over the holidays. They're gonna have to come out with something new. And I even read somewhere else that these other guys who had looked through the code had seen that there would also be a way to raise your Pokemon that you hatch, like Tamagotchi style, which I kind of think would be cool because you can play the normal game and then on top of that you can like open it up and train it or feed it or whatever you do. I think that could actually be a cool thing to add just for like the mindlessness of not having to go and invest a ton of time. You can just take a minute, check on it, feed it or do whatever, and then go on about your day. It's less time consuming. You can check in on it more. I think that might actually be pretty cool. But that was on a different website. I don't know how reliable that one is, but I did see that a few places. But the way that these things go is one person posts it and then all these other people just copy it. And so you never know who the real source was. But these Reddit ones seem to be pretty legit. And even on this thread where the guy, the Starbucks guy posted this, the moderators did say that they looked at the email and it seemed to be legit and they had no reason to believe it was fake. So it seems like this would be a real thing that came from Starbucks. He apparently sent them proof. So I don't know, unless Pokemon version 2 is something totally different, or unless, of course, more likely this will get delayed, then I'm really hoping we get something in December. Get some new Pokemon, or at the very, very, very least, Mew and Mewtwo. That's what I was guessing the whole time, was that around Christmas time-ish there would be an event that would bring in either Mew or Mewtwo, because those are the ones everybody's really waiting for right now. And it wouldn't really make sense to bring in all the second gen and Mew and Mewtwo at the same time, right? That's just too much. They know they can make events out of Mew and Mewtwo, so why would they skip over that and just bring everything all at once? That wouldn't make sense. So my guess, something's coming up with Mew and Mewtwo. Totally just making that up based on nothing. That's just what I think should happen. and then the second gen should be really, really close to coming out. Really close. I mean, they all still need moves, but we'll see in the next update. Maybe they'll add the moves in there. So that's on the Silph Road. They always put these notes when they look through the code after the updates. If you want to go and just look through the stuff there, the Silph Road, just like in the game. You guys know how to spell that. So I guess I don't really have anything else to say about that. That's all the info that there is now. Don't know what else. Let me know if you guys have any types of videos you'd like to see, or even any new games or anything you'd like to see. Comment below, tell me what you think is most likely going to happen. Do you think it's going to be Mew and Mewtwo first? Do you think it's going to be second gen? What do you think the shiny means, and how are they going to incorporate that, and how does that all start? Someone, I can't remember because I've been reading a bunch of stuff, but somebody said that they thought or read somehow that the rare might be when you find a rare one, it's like a different animation comes up, different. Oh no, I think I read that in the code there's a different music that happens with a rare, or a different sound or something. Oh, I can't remember now what I read. Why am I thinking that? I think there was like new audio in the game associated with rare or something like that. Darn it, I wish I would have remembered all the things that I read. Okay guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment, tell me the things. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.